Archaeologists are currently conducting excavations on the Acropolis of Cumae, an ancient Greek colony in Italy, which has remained shrouded in mystery for thousands of years. Normally, these experts unearth the remains of the region's elite from sealed tombs, but in one such vault, the team discovered an elaborate mural that illuminates a forgotten chapter of history. This mesmerizing 2,000-year-old artwork has revealed the concealed past of an ancient Italian city. Since the Phoenicians first set foot on what is now Italy in the 10th century BC, this Mediterranean nation has been a melting pot of diverse cultures. Although the Romans often dominate the pages of history books today, the truth is that many different civilizations have left their imprints on this part of the world. For instance, in the 8th century BC, when the homeland of the ancient Greeks was in danger, they expanded by colonizing and trading with other lands. Greek settlements soon emerged in Sicily and on the Italian peninsula. However, the growing power of Rome eventually conquered Italy's Greek colonies, incorporating them into their seemingly invincible empire. Nevertheless, Grecian culture flourished in Italy for many centuries, and even today, Greek ruins can be found among the temples and amphitheaters of ancient Rome. In the early days of Greek colonization, settlers from the island of Euboea arrived on the coast of what is now Campania, about 15 miles from the present-day city of Naples. At that time, colonists had already thrived on the nearby island of Pithecusae, and those in charge were keen to expand onto the mainland. Thus, in Campania, the Greek colonists were attracted to a patch of fertile land bordered by the ocean on one side, where they founded the colony of Cumae around 750 BC. Interestingly, these settlers were not the first people to discover the site. Experts believe that both Bronze Age and Iron Age dwellings once existed there. Nonetheless, with the establishment of Cumae, the Greeks established their first settlement on the Italian mainland. Even as the Grecian people continued to explore and trade by sea, they also adapted well to colonial life. As the economic and political power of the city grew, its people expanded their reach into neighboring territories soon. Cumae flourished during its time, and historical accounts suggest that it even sent settlers to establish new colonies in Sicily and Greece. As the centuries passed, the influence of Cumae extended all along the Campania coast, and Greek culture took hold on parts of the Italian mainland. However, not everyone admired the colony's success, and Cumae had enemies, such as the Etruscans. The city was eventually conquered by the Ascan people of Campania in 421 BC, and under their rule, many aspects of the colony's Greek culture were wiped out. Cumae changed hands again in 338 BC, when it came under Roman rule. The city prospered once more from the 1st century BC onwards, when it became a popular destination for wealthy Romans. The city grew to an impressive size, and it was almost twice as large as its ill-fated neighbor, Pompeii. Cumae apparently escaped the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD unharmed, and for the next 450 years, its citizens lived in relative peace until the onset of the Gothic Wars in 535 brought fresh conflict to the region. Cumae was destroyed in 1205, but it was never quite forgotten. Over the years, everyone from artists to archaeologists has visited the ruins of what was once one of Greece's most ambitious colonies. Excavations into these ancient areas began as early as the 17th century, and remarkable treasures were discovered, such as a large statue recovered in 1606. In 1738, construction workers made a remarkable discovery when they stumbled across the ruins of Herculaneum. This led to the discovery of Pompeii, and many people flocked to excavate these fascinating sites. Cumae itself was once again abandoned, making it a prime target for looters who stole countless artifacts from the unprotected site. Finally, an official excavation began in 1852, and over the following years, a number of digs were carried out in and around Cumae, exploring sites such as the Masuria del Gigante amphitheater and the necropolis beneath the city. Despite publicity, looting continued to be a problem. The ruins continued to attract looters, While excavations persisted from the 19th to the 20th century, archaeologists during this period made a number of interesting finds, such as the Temple of Apollo, Temple of Jupiter, the Crypta Romana military tunnel, and the Cave of the Sibyl, where a renowned Sibyl had once made her prophecies. French researchers from the Collège de France and the French National Center for Scientific Research led the excavation of an ancient necropolis in the beginning of the 21st century. The team discovered hundreds of tombs cut into the rock beneath the city, including vaulted spaces that had been used as burial chambers. These tombs, which had been sealed with a single large rock for easy access to the interior, had fallen victim to looting in the 19th century. However, the archaeologists were still able to recover human remains and funerary goods and determined that the chambers had been in use around the 2nd century BC. They also found that the tomb's inhabitants had likely been high-ranking members of Roman society, as the tombs had been colored with either white or red paint. In June 2018, the team discovered a tomb with an incredibly detailed painting depicting a naked servant holding a jug and a vase forged from silver. The mural covers the sides and entrance wall of the tomb and shows a banquet scene, complete with a sitala vessel, an amphora type jar, and a table. The experts believe that the figures of guests had initially been painted along the tomb's side walls, but are now missing. The tomb's high quality and vibrancy of colors suggest that its occupants had been members of Cumae's elite, and there may have been as many as 3 high society Romans buried there. The team will need to conduct further research to confirm the number of people buried there. While the content of the mural has been the focus of much press coverage, depicting a naked servant was not scandalous during Roman times, as nudity was more normalized back then, and high-ranking members of society collected artwork that could be considered lewd today. The ruins of Herculaneum and Pompeii revealed cultures frozen in time. The ruins have been a target of looters for many years and have been the subject of excavations since the 19th century. These excavations yielded a number of remarkable discoveries, including the Temple of Apollo, Temple of Jupiter, the Crypta Romana military tunnel, and the Cave of the Sibyl, where a famous Sibyl once made prophecies. In the early 21st century, French researchers from the Collège de France and the French National Center for Scientific Research led an excavation of an ancient necropolis. They discovered hundreds of tombs beneath the city, many of which had been looted in the 19th century. Despite this, the archaeologists were able to recover human remains and funerary goods and determined that the chambers had been in use around the 2nd century BC. The tombs were colored with either white or red paint, indicating that their inhabitants were likely high-ranking members of Roman society. In 2018, the team discovered a tomb with an exquisitely detailed painting depicting a banquet scene, including a naked servant holding a jug and a silver vase. The mural, which covered the sides and entrance wall of the tomb, suggested that the tomb's occupants had been members of Cumae's elite. While the mural's depiction of nudity may be considered scandalous today, it was not uncommon during Roman times, as high-ranking members of society collected artwork that would be considered lewd by modern standards. The ruins of Herculaneum and Pompeii offer a glimpse into cultures long gone. We hope you enjoyed the video. Never forget to like and share the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you can get every update.